Hello and welcome back to Randomly Generated Conversations, Trivia Edition. In this episode today, Mabel will be asking Bastian and I random trivia questions. We both have to answer it to the best of our knowledge. Even if we don't have an answer, we have to come up with one and give our reasoning behind it.
Okay.
So the first trivia question.
Why does oil make tools last longer?
You go first.
Well, oil makes tools last longer because it prevents rust. The oil on the surface, it will cause water or whatever to kind of like run off it or to not hold the moisture as much. So therefore it doesn't rust and therefore tools last longer because the rust isn't building up in there or the oxidation or whatever.
I can't agree with you, can I? I agree with you there because it would help to prevent rust because oil and water never touch. They always separate.
Well, they touch, but
yes,
they don't mix.
I know. I messed up. They mix. They don't mix. I mean, they don't mix, and they end up sliding off the water, and the oil won't go off. So, yeah, keeping everything clean.
It also reduces friction.
Maybe.
Okay.
So it reduces...
I get something in here.
So the oil can also, especially if it has moving parts, it reduces the friction and binding up of those moving parts. Again, due to removing the moisture.
That feels so much better.
What? Okay, what answer does the book have for us?
The metal parts of tools look smooth, but their edges are uneven. When they move against each other, these uneven parts catch. The tool doesn't work so well, and the moving parts wear down. Oil keeps those parts from touching each other. They can still move back and forth, but they don't catch anymore.
Okay.
That's nice.
I didn't know we were talking about moving part tools. I was thinking just tools in general. That's why I thought the rust. But that makes sense. Like, as it moves, it protects the surface. Okay.
That sounded a little bit more like the last thing.
Like the second I said.
Yeah.
Well, I had to talk about the two different types of tools, right? From my experience as a tool manufacturer, just kidding. All right, next question.
Okay. How fast does a glacier move?
Bastian, I'll let you start with this one.
Do we have to give like a specific? Distance within time, or?
Yeah.
I'd say at least like maybe a couple feet, a minute, an hour, maybe. Because I thought glaciers don't move, one of the two. But glaciers more likely have to move and stuff like that.
Sneaky glacier.
Because I feel like they'll move certain times. Wait, no. It's a certain amount of years. Because certain ice will not move for years if it's not, like, melted. It will barely move. That's what happened with some of, like, the bigger valleys and stuff like that. Some ice and stuff like that was scraping, that it barely moved and created different things. So the ice moves really slow, that when it's moving and stuff like that, it will eventually do different things that, like, I don't explain that rest of that, but you guys know, get
when it does things, it will do things.
Yes.
It does other things.
Yes, but no, when glaciers move and stuff like that,
So why?
it creates different water.
Why? How fast?
It's about at least a couple years. Like, at least a lot of years, because I don't remember what it was, but there was this one thing. And it's still being like right now, where it's still moving very slowly and won't be done
A
for
snail.
a lot of years. No.
Well, you said one thing. So.
No, the ice will not be done for a bunch of years.
So,
Okay.
I had the privilege of accompanying my daughter to the planetarium.
That's true.
And there was a video talking about glaciers. I also had the privilege of having the best nap I had in a long time during that video. So I did not capture how fast the glaciers were moving. I'm thinking it's like a certain amount of feet per year or something like that. Up to maybe like a football field or something a year. So, maybe it's slower than that. But I know it's melting at a certain rate, and they are moving. So I'm going to say 5 feet a year.
I think it's like point something feet a year is the thing.
Okay. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Scientists often describe glaciers as being rivers of ice.
Oh, yeah, that I did hear in the video.
Like normal rivers, glaciers, yeah, flow at a different speeds. It depends on the slope of the land, the air temperatures, the soil beneath, and many other factors. So the fastest Greenland's... Ooh, this one is a hard one to read. Guarayak?
That's a weird word.
Yeah. Glacier travels up to 24 meters or 80 feet a day.
Okay, so feet a day.
80.
80 feet a day. I totally forgot that they were these rivers of flowing ice. But I do remember it talked about the air temperature and everything with the moving, and that's what causes like glaciers to fall and whatever. That a lot of them, you'll see them like shooting up or falling down and all that stuff, and it's dangerous to get close to a glacier.
Frozen waterfall, like those things wouldn't be able to move as fast because if it's the waterfall, it's taking. So let's take a place that it's full of ice, and the ice doesn't melt for a little while. Because I remember seeing a video that the ice was not melting, this and that, and it will not melt. It just kept moving slowly and slowly down this waterfall. But really, it didn't go down. It still stuck to the walls and stuff, that the more friction, it was harder and harder for the things to move. So, like a glacier like that would probably get stuck and not be able to move as fast. And that's why it would take a certain amount of feet a year to just start pushing down on the soil to make them bigger.
Okay.
In his years as a geologist or an environmentalist, he studied glaciers and... Just kidding.
Back in my day, I studied glaciers. And back in my day was 10 years ago.
80 feet a day. Okay.
Yes.
I'll stick... That's the fastest one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
I think I could beat that in a race.
My next question is, why does old paper turn yellow?
It's a type of paper. It's what happens with like trees and stuff like that.
Because
trees, like the trees after a little while, will rot and sometimes like that, right? And the paper, it's not exactly like rotting, but if it's after a long time, it's going to become frail like certain parts of the tree. Trees and stuff like that, after long time, that's when you get like the crispies and stuff like that. I'm calling them crispies because I don't know what to call them. The bark.
Okay.
You'll get like those chunks of bark. You get the chunks of bark that like peel off and stuff like that. That's sometimes yellow. So with like paper being made from trees, maybe something in that range of like stuff where the paper is like maybe sitting out, depending on like wherever it is or something like that. Maybe it's sitting out for like a long time inside of like a damp place, or maybe it's sitting for a long time inside of like a dry place. It depends on where it is. That's going to turn yellow faster or slower because of lots of like different things. So.
My reasoning is that paper is not inherently white. That's white because we add dye to it. And as the dye fades over time, it becomes its natural color of yellow.
Okay. Well, I don't know. Paper is made of wood.
Mm-hmm.
The part of wood called cellulose makes paper white.
Oh, so we don't add dye to it.
Mm-mm. But wood also contains a dark substance called lignin.
Okay.
Lignin.
Lignin?
Mm-hmm. This adds strength to wood. In time, the lignin in paper breaks down and forms yellow acids. And these turn the paper yellow.
Okay.
So I was on the right track.
Yeah. That's
Well,
good.
considering the cellulose or whatever is kind of a dye then, so.
Yeah. Sure.
If we're going to accept whatever I said last time, we'll accept whatever you said.
Well, also, in order to make paper, the tree has to die. That's what I was talking about.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, this is another environmental question.
Okay. I'm not good at those.
Why is grass green and not blue? I didn't know that grass should have been blue.
Because blue is not blue. I'm just kidding. There's actually bluegrass.
There is bluegrass, but bluegrass is actually still
Green.
green. Because of a process called photosynthesis, and it creates chlorophyll, and chlorophyll causes the green coloring.
What is this, mister? Oh, I'm not good at these.
Well, I took a botany class
I got it.
once in my life, and that's what I remember.
I've got an answer.
Chlorophyll and photosynthesis.
I've got an answer.
The grass comes from photosynthesis. And the colors in the whatever chlorophyll and everything like that makes the colors green. So
Chlorophyll.
it's chlorophyll. Sorry, guys.
Now I'm sounding like you. I don't have the glasses, but
Whatever.
I'm just kidding.
What's the sound of the glasses?
I don't know. You tell
But
me.
yes, you are right. So I'm not even gonna read it.
Okay. Woohoo, 1 point. I think we got one question right. Woohoo! Okay, I think we're done. Okay, just kidding.
We know this one. Okay, another one. Can you
That's the
eat
dust.
flowers?
Some.
Yeah?
Okay, yeah.
They
This
help you
is-
throw fireballs.
It says you can certainly...
Or
Or
ice.
ice.
You certainly can. If, in fact, you may have eaten some this week.
Yeah,
If
most things
you-
grow on flowers.
If you had broccoli or cauliflower, these are the flowering parts of the plant. Many attractive flowers, such as violets and roses, can also be eaten or used to make teas. But it's important to remember that some flowers are not sunflowers. Some flowers are poisonous.
See, I said some.
And we should never simply assume that a flower is edible.
I love flour. I put it in bread and cake and...
Cauliflower's a flower?
Yeah. Wait, why do you think it's called cauliflower?
No way.
Right?
No, but you give it things
I
flowers?
love flowers. Being somebody who loves tea, so many types of tea are flowers, right? Whether it's dandelion or rose, lavender, chamomile, any of those things. I also love hibiscus, right? With Jamaica. That's hibiscus water. So, yeah, definitely eat your flowers, guys. Go out to your garden and just start. Wait, we said some of them are edible.
Yeah,
So-
not all of them.
I do not condone eating all the flowers in your garden.
A girl
And
gives you a
especially
bouquet.
just putting even leaves on your face that you don't know where they come from.
So guys,
Right, like
a
my
girl-
daughter.
A girl gives you a bouquet. You're like, oh, thanks for the snacks.
Yep.
I mean, they're edible.
Yeah.
Why not?
Well, you need to make sure that they're not, they haven't...
Pesticide.
Pesticide.
So we were out hiking. So the reference here was we were out hiking and my daughter was collecting leaves.
And flowers.
And flowers, and she would touch the leaves to her face. Oh, this has such a soft leaf and everything. The next day she woke up and her eyes were swollen.
Yeah.
We had to give her
face.
Benadryl because her whole face was swollen from a reaction to whatever leaf she was putting on her face.
Yep. Last question.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
So far, we're Bastian's 1 and I'm 2.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think you already read this one. Did you already read How the Parachutes?
No, we haven't.
Parachutes?
We haven't read anything about parachutes.
No, we haven't.
Okay, how do parachutes work?
I know there's
Like, in general, the parachute itself, or the whole fact of it coming out?
like the
The
entire
whole
backpack.
thing.
Okay.
Like how everything works out.
Okay. I'll let you start.
I know that you pull a cord and like the different cords and stuff like that open the backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Because the backpack probably has. I'm pretty sure the parachute's like shoved in there, and it's like compact. So that the instant the backpack, you pull the cords, it's opening the backpack. Because you're falling at a certain rate, the air is gonna shoot upward. So it carries you upward. Like, not carries you upward, but it opens the parachute, and that's how the parachute works.
It creates a wind resistance in the falling. So you're falling and you're small. So you have this very small wind resistance as you fall. So you're going to fall at a faster speed. So this thing, which has more of a dome shape, if it was just flat, it wouldn't work so much for wind resistance. It creates that dome shape, which kind of, as it pulls the air down and the air is pushing up, it kind of slows it down because it creates a lot of resistance there with the air.
Yeah. And to be fair, if that's correct, it was my credit. So I think it's a 2 and 2.
Okay, let's see. Skydivers are pulled towards Earth by gravity, but an upward force called air resistance pushes in the opposite side or opposite direction. The large flat shape of the parachute increases the amount of air resistance. The parachute is still pulled down by gravity, but because of the push of the air, it falls at a constant slow speed.
As an avid skydiver who's gone 0 times, that's how I knew that.
Wow.
But here it says the flat shape of the parachute.
Well, it's flat, but when it's pushing up, it creates
I
a
know.
dome shape.
Yeah.
Whether it's circular or even the parachutes that are the long ones, they still create a dome shape to them.
We're smarter. We're not that dome.
All right, so I'll give you a point on that one, but I'm still taking a point because I said the word wind resistance. So 2
It's actually air
and
resistance.
3. Air resistance,
So
whatever.
I get another point for that because you said wrong.
You're resistant to error, okay? All right. Thank you, and thank you, Mabel, for joining us again.
Okay.
Have a good day.
Thank
Bye.
you.